Hi Libra, welcome to your weekly check-in for the 10th to the 16th of December. The messages are for Libra, Sun, Moon and Rising. Thank you very much to everyone who watches the videos, likes, shares, comments, everyone who subscribes to the channel as well. It's all gratefully appreciated. If you'd like to book a personal reading, see the info in the description box on how to do that. So these are the oracle decks I'm going to be using for today's reading. The Power of Surrender deck feels like a really odd choice to make with this, but I was really called to use it. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to honor what I've been called to use. But we're going to start with a message from the Shapeshifters deck, first of all. And that will be like your main theme, focal point, the most important thing you need to know for this weekly check-in. So for Libra, Sun, Moon and Rising, what's relevant for you for this weekly check-in? This deck is so awkward to shuffle on camera. It's just very big and I've got small hands. So Libra, Sun, Moon and Rising, there we go. That's nice. That is very nice, Libra. We have Hedgehog Love, positive, uplifting new friends. So the message says, and these messages in like 3 parts in the book. There's 3 parts to it, so I'm going to read the 2 out of the 3 parts that I feel are the most relevant, because it is quite a long message. So it says, Hedgehog Love speaks. You are like us. You have been taken, adopted, marked and accepted by creatures who are other, disproving your belief that you are an internal outsider. You have found kin and you now know you can always call on your brothers and sisters. People who are real, positive, upbeat and determined wish to hang out with you now. Join them and let's all experience a time of play, of protection, of being surrounded by loving beings. Like us, you may look different on the outside and you may seem a bit prickly from time to time, but you just want to be safe and to be surrounded by people who accept you and bring out the best in you. You will find a true home with us despite our many differences. You will bear physically and energetically a mark that will help your brothers and sisters recognize you, making it easy for them to make friends with you, including in their activities, groups and parties, and tell you you are loved for being who you are. So that's that bit about being prickly. I mean, Libras can be known to be aloof. That's one thing that comes up. So that kind of made me chuckle a little bit when I saw the prickly thing. Doesn't mean Libras are unfriendly, because they can also be known to be a social butterfly as well. But yeah, there's an aloofness there, isn't there? Probably more so with strangers. This thing about a mark, okay, it says you will bear physically and energetically a mark. So it could be more so energetically for people, actually, especially if you feel like you are kind of an outsider. You may have this thing in general where even in the past you are energetically drawn to people or they're energetically drawn to you in really quite random situations. But anyway, let's continue. The divination part of the message says, this card indicates your true family will be, for a time, a group of close-knit friends who look out for each other and have lots of fun times and adventures together. It is a bit of a closed group, not so welcoming to outsiders, but its members are very protective of you and of one another too. You may feel like you have a new adopted family, as if you were once an outcast but have now come home. You may find great relief from loneliness and isolation, or you may discover new animal friends and pets, or a group that cares deeply about animals could be about to enter your life. While this group is very tight, your individuality is respected and encouraged. It is very supported. This could be a rich and exciting social time, and you will find new friends while on new adventures. Your peace of mind is developing and growing, and the more gratitude you show the world of nature, the more this deep peace will grow and endure. Even when it comes time to move on, as it shall come soon, you will be able to shift into a new environment, fully protected and with a great deal of help. Your friends, old and new, are never far from you and will never abandon you. Not now that you have shared so much together. The friendships you make at this time are very loyal and could last forever. That's a very beautiful message, that is. So we're going to get your tarot cards now. And I'm going to read slightly differently from usual, but we're going to start as usual. Card 1's fallen already. It's the Queen of Wands has fallen on the floor randomly out of the deck. And I mean, she would be the social butterfly, actually, wouldn't she? The Queen of Wands, more so than the way Libras are sometimes described. But anyway, let's get your tarot cards out. So yeah, first of all, a message that's to do with the main theme. What else do we need to know about that? And she is the social butterfly, that Queen of Wands, and she would be the party goer, wouldn't she, as well? So that could be something where you may be going to quite a few events. I mean, we are Christmas period, isn't it? This sort of time of year, so maybe you're going to a lot of parties or something. But if you haven't enjoyed them previously or for a while, you might find that you're around people that feel more genuine and authentic and get you at this point in time. So what else do we need to know about that main theme? First of all, well, there's that there's aloofness for a start, and kind of a wariness, isn't it? So you may have found that you're not very trusting, or you may have had bad experiences with people, but there's a general sense of wariness and aloofness with that, about being careful who you socialize with in general, to be honest. So right, so usually I would read the next 3 cards as your energy specifically, external or surrounding energies and advice, but today I'm going to do past, present and future. I just wanted to see how it would feel, if it would feel more beneficial to do it that way. So past energy, first of all, Wheel of Fortune, big card of change, isn't it? And luck. I know the Wheel of Fortune can be associated with luck, but yeah, it's not one. I don't usually get luck as a first go-to meaning for it. Right, present or current energy. So you've got the Sun, and you have one that fell on the floor. I mean, that is being more in the spotlight, isn't it? Really being more open. Potential is a meaning for it as well. Joy, enjoyment. So you've got the Ace of Swords. Oh wow, that's a authenticity energy. The Sun, I mean, openness, and the Ace of Swords together, that is very much about authenticity. You might be showing more of yourself in general, and that's what could potentially attract these people. Yeah, that's something that comes to mind. Let's get you potential future. Knight of Cups, that's nice. So the one thing that could happen, I mean, I can't remember whose reading it was I said this in, but I know that one of my dreams, I'll say, when I was a lot younger, I was very much a loner, very much a lone wolf. It probably was your last reading I said this, actually. I did have some friends, but I kind of preferred my own company anyway. I just kind of felt weird, and I was always more comfortable on my own. I was perfectly capable of socializing, having conversations when I felt like it, but I just liked my own company. But I did have this thing where I really wanted a best friend. And to be frank, I used to love Daria. So anybody who's a certain age, you'll know who Daria is. I had this thing where I wanted a best friend like Jane and Daria. In Dario, I was like, I wanted to have a best friend like Jane or something. And that was kind of like my dream when I was a lot younger. And then as I grew up, I just struggled to connect with people so much, like on a superficial level, yeah, but on a deep level, because I always wanted a deep and meaningful friendship. It was never going to be about, oh, we just go to parties together and that shit. It was like, no, I want a deep, meaningful, kindred spirit, soulmates type friendship, which never happened. And as I got older, I just sort of got jaded, I guess, and I just thought, you know what, it's not going to happen. I've got to be my own best friend. It ain't going to happen now. But with this Knight of Cups showing up, that is something that could happen. Like, you can make friends at any, like, close friends, not just random whatever. You can form close bonds at any time of your life. I mean, look, there are people that fall in love in their 60s and older, aren't there? So if that can happen, then surely you can form a deep bond in terms of soulmate friendship type things. So it may be that the Knight of Cups, if it's been a long time dream of yours to have that kind of friendship, it could be that. Or it could be that if there is a new group of people that you're around, or new friend or friendships or whatever, it could help you in pursuing any other kind of dream you have. Like maybe they have connections within a particular industry, and it's not that you're using them for that, but there's some kind of connection between your path, maybe your life purpose, your dreams, and the friendships. That there's just something that might be in common with that. So let's clarify. Let's look at that 9 of Wands and see what comes out for that. So So as I said, that looks like that aloofness, wariness, but it looks like that's changing, or has changed, because the change is in the past, isn't it? You might still have remnants of that though, where you are still a bit wary, or it could be just protection in general that you, I mean, I remember speaking to someone and speaking about being a loner, that sort of thing, and the person said, no, you're not, well, yeah, they didn't deny that I was a loner, but they said, you're just selective with your friendships, aren't you? Like, it's not a bad thing necessarily. You're not purposely being stuck up and cutting people out. You're just very selective. Like, you don't want shallow, meaningless friendships. So selective, keyword selective. So let's look at this and see if it is selective or if it is aloofness, wariness, fear. Let's see what comes up. So for the 9 of Wands, we've got the Tower. So the first thing that comes to mind is fear of change, but we'll see how that progresses. Anything else? We've got 6 of Cups. So I've said fear of change is one thing, but what also comes up here is, you know, if you've had friendships in the past and it didn't work out, like say, one example would be if you've ended up being friends with people and then they turned against you, that would kind of be a tower, wouldn't it? It's like where they pull the rug from under you. Maybe you didn't expect it. That's one thing. Or the friendships have just fallen apart because they were never genuine in the first place. That's something that could mean, and that would make you wary now. Anything else? So 3 of Pentacles, that did kind of, when I was shuffling, that kind of kept on standing out. That 3 of Pentacles, that's about working together with people. So yeah, it can be about physically working or employment, that kind of thing. But it's, for me, it's kind of how a friendship works, isn't it? It's the different parts of a friendship that make it work, like the physical effort, emotional understanding, intellectual understanding. It's all the different parts that physically make a friendship work. So anything else? So I think the Ace of Cups is meant to be next. And then the 2 of Cups. And the 5 of Pentacles. So you've got that whole thing. That kind of matches the Tower and the 5 of Pentacles, being the fear of being left out in the cold, isn't it? In friendships, if they don't work out, or if you just, I mean, sometimes it's that you try to, I mean, okay, so I've done this. I'm going to confess now. I actually, at one point, I actually joined friendship sites, and I'm not criticizing it at all because I think it's a really good idea. So it's kind of like a dating site, but it's just for friendship. Joined the friendship sites. I did meet up with some people and it was cool meeting them and that, but the friendships, it kind of felt a bit forced, to be honest. Like, it was exciting the first few times and then it began to feel forced, like you're forcing yourself to have this friendship. And I don't know exactly how they felt as well because I never asked them, but it kind of weirdly fizzled out in terms of friendship. The friendship fizzled out because there wasn't really a solid foundation, and some of them fizzled out more quickly than others. I mean, it was an experience that I'm glad I did and I had. And the people were fine. There was nothing wrong with the people whatsoever. They were fine. I enjoyed the time I spent with them. But there just wasn't a real solid... It just didn't feel authentic to me. And as I say, the friendships fizzled out. So, yeah. I mean, that could be something here, the Ace of Cups. That could be a concern about the friendship fizzling out. Concerns about whether the connection's going to be genuine or not. This can be, that authenticity thing is coming to mind as well with this. So I said they're fizzling out, and if the connection is going to be genuine, that came to mind. But yeah, that leaving out in the cold, it's where either you get left out in the cold or you feel like you need to leave them out in the cold because it's not genuine, that sort of thing. But there is a bit of a fear of, I'd say maybe the foundations and the structure maybe more so than, I mean, yeah, of change, but maybe change in terms of the change in the friendship itself. Is what the reluctance and fear is here. Is it going to be secure and sturdy and have a strong foundation? And that's a lot of pressure to put on yourself, because when you're kind of friends with people, it should flow. Like, there are people that I've made friends with later on in my life, because I'm more middle age now. And I never thought that would happen, but it flowed because it was people that I've met at work, and it was never forced. It was just very natural. In fact, I'm still shocked now. I'm like, how did that happen? Like, there was no intention there. It just flowed. I mean, it helps as well because I think you do have some people that are friendlier than others, and they are the type of people that they just have friends all over the place, don't they? Like, it's not even that they're like necessarily a social butterfly, but they've just got a vibe about them that they easily make friends. And I think when you people who are kind of loners, you kind of need, or it helps at the very least to meet people like that who attract friends. Like, they don't have to be very loud or extrovert, but they've just got this natural vibe. And I recommend Virgos for that. I'll tell you, I've said before, I know so many Virgos, and they've all got that kind of vibe where it's just very easy to get into, to be friends with them. Like, it's not, no pressure. It's just not, it just happens, doesn't it? But yeah, I know Virgo's one of the signs where I just know so many Virgos that literally have, it's a literal energy that's, you can feel it. Well, I can feel it. I don't know about anybody else. But I think for people who are loners or introverts, that's a really nice energy to have because they're down to earth as well. They're very down to earth, they're friendly, and there's just something it's just very natural. But anyway, I've babbled on enough, haven't I? So yeah, you've got the reluctance there. You've got a bit of wariness, possibly a bit of aloofness and selectiveness as well, and for valid reasons. But let's move on. Let's move on from that and see what happens. So Wheel of Fortune here as the past energy. So Wheel of Fortune. You've got you've got two explorer energies here with the Page of Wands. I mean, that's like, it's exploration, but it's a journey, isn't it? This is where you have the inspiration to begin the journey, and you're inexperienced and you don't know what you're getting yourself into. And this is where you've been on the journey for like 200 years, as I keep saying with the Hermit. It looks like he's centuries old. But it's discovery. It's both energies of exploration and discovery. And this is where you come out wise. Something's changed here. So this is probably your progression. And it doesn't matter about age, because life experience is life experience, no matter what age you are. It just is what it is, isn't it? So there's something mature, something's matured here, something's changed and matured, and maybe your luck is changing because you've matured in some way, shape or form. Anything else? There could be something here, and I feel, did it say in here? I've done quite a few readings today, so forgive me if I get confused. I don't know if it said something about boundaries here, but if not, this Seven of Wands is something about boundaries here. And that could go back to that whole selectiveness thing where, say if you've struggled with friendships in the past and you didn't know who to trust, and you may have even been a bit of a, I mean, Libra is connected to people pleasing sometimes. If you've been a bit of a people pleaser, it could be that part of the, is it maturity, whatever you want to call it, is boundaries. You've developed better boundaries now, so that helps to change your look as well in terms of who you become friends with now. Anything else? I'm going to try that again. Two of Wands kind of came out, but it was a weird... Okay, there we go. We've got the Four of Swords and we have the Two of Swords. I feel like that Four of Swords and Two of Swords is kind of, you know, like when you think about romantic relationships and you think about deal breakers and you reflect on your experiences with that, about what you will and won't put up with now. This feels like the same thing, but in terms of friendships. Yeah, let me get something for that Four of Swords, first of all. It's also about honouring your need for your own space as well, I think, with that Four of Swords there. And maybe with the Two of Swords as well. Like, so in terms of part of the boundaries is, you know, like if, again, people pleasing, or if you've been influenced by other people because you want to fit in or make them happy or whatever, it's having stronger boundaries with that and knowing when to block the pressure out, peer pressure and stuff like that, and other people's opinions. Because even if you don't fall to like agree with peer pressure or go along with it, people can still say things that get in your head, and that impacts how you think and how you feel as well, doesn't it? So it's like maybe building up stronger boundaries with that too. And when you have those stronger boundaries, then you're less afraid to put yourself out there, aren't you? Because you're like, well, even if people say something or do something that kind of irritates you or hurts your feelings or whatever, you know that you're able to deal with it and address it if you need to. So yeah, Four of Swords. Let's get one for the Four of Swords. It just looks like you've grown up here, to be honest, Libra, in terms of friendship, that kind of area of your life. And the Page of Wands is a card of identity, isn't it, as well? The Hermit's soul searching, the Page of Wands is identity. So it's like you've probably built a stronger sense of your own identity. So yeah, stronger boundaries come hand in hand with that. So Four of Swords. I mean, that Four of Swords to me, it looks like you've learned how or when to detach from conflicts with other people or situations where it's just not right. Anything else? Yeah, self-worth. Queen of Pentacles, that's self-worth. You know your self-worth, so you're not going to put up with as much shit or any shit, hopefully. Let's have a quick look at the Two of Swords. Think for yourself is the first thing that comes to mind with that. Not to say that you can't think for yourself, but you know, sometimes you think for yourself, but then you have doubts when other people say stuff. Six of Pentacles in reverse. It feels like being able to create your own sense of balance. Yeah, that's a power, about power. It's something that you've learned. You've learned to create your own sense of balance and have, you know, return to, if you get in a situation where there's any confusion, where people say anything that kind of puts you down or creates any doubt, it's like you can turn that Six of Wands upright and recreate your own sense of balance and power and learn from whatever's happened. So let's look at the present energy for you. So the Sun, the Ace of Swords, I said that was a big thing of authenticity, putting yourself out there more. Or showing more of who you are and being very authentic with it as well. And it's the positive side of you as well, I would say, with the Sun. It's the fun part, but also the very honest part as well. So I think with Libras, we can be one extreme or the other, can't we? Like could potentially be really fun and then go to the people-pleasing extreme, or you can get to the point where everybody pisses you off and you kind of like cutting everybody like a sword with your words. So it's two extremes, but it's like having a balance because you've got both of them there. For me, it feels more like having a balance with that. So you can be brutally honest and still be a loving, nice person. Well, not nice, but pleasant person to be around as well. So Sun and Ace of Swords. So authentic, just authentically you, authentically happy and authentically honest as well. Anything else? So I'll definitely take that. Four of Pentacles. So I want to... Yes. Okay, King of Wands. Feels like opening up. Because you got the Four of Pentacles there. That would be the protective energy. And maybe it's a bit of both as well, of knowing when to hold your cards close, because I said there's a sense of duality here. Knowing when to hold your cards close to your chest and protect yourself, and when to open up, and also when to go to battle too, if you need to stand up for yourself. Nine of Pentacles. You've got your own sense of security, like self-security within yourself. That sounds really messed up, doesn't it? You've got such a sense of security and independence in yourself. There are certain things that you wouldn't let stress you out and worry you as much as they did in the past, hopefully, or you're developing that at the very least. Anything else? So you've got the Three of Swords, which I will probably clarify, and you've got the Two of Wands in reverse. So let's do the Three of Swords. Why is the Three of Swords there? I knew it. Okay, let me get another one. So I'm getting a bunch of words coming up in this. So one of the words I heard, or the terms I heard, was acting in your best interests. and no, not denying the pain. So that could be part of people pleasing, you know, like in friendships where you people please and it's to your detriment. So you wouldn't be doing that anymore. So you wouldn't deny if something hurts you in a friendship, and you would be acting in your best interests. Let's see what else comes out for that. Also facing any pain from previous friendships as well. Which way was that? That was upright. Let's get one more for that. Oh, crap. Okay. Let's take this one. 9 of Wands. So just bear with me because they have fallen. 2 cards have fallen and everything's falling apart now. Oh, I'm glad to see that's there. I mean, I don't know if I'll use it or not, but... Right, you've got the 6 of Swords and the 5 of Cups. That's a lot of cards, but I will take them. So it's leaving, it's kind of like leaving, acknowledging, but also moving on from the past hurts and coming out stronger with that 9 of Wands, because it's someone who's still standing, isn't it? But moving on from all of that and learning from it so that you can have better friendships, to be honest. Let's look at the 2 of Wands. And this could be old stuff, these kind of horrible energies here. There could be really old stuff, or it could be recent stuff even. So I feel like the 2 of Wands is that thing where I was saying that people say or do things that kind of confuse you. And it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if this card comes out when I use the Power of Surrender, like comparisons to other people, that sort of thing. Or if they say things that make you feel like who you are or being yourself or the path you choose is ridiculous or something. It's kind of not taking that to heart so much. So 2 of Wands in reverse. Why is that there? Yep, you have your own sense of clarity. Like no matter what anybody says, you might have a moment where it kind of derails you a little bit. Or gets to you a little bit, but then you can return to your own sense of clarity and your own sense of strength and independence and confidence and that sort of thing. I mean, just because you build up a sense of confidence and power and those sort of things, it doesn't mean that nothing ever gets to you, because that's completely unrealistic. We're human. Stuff will still get to us. It's a matter of how long it gets to us for, because stuff can happen where somebody says something or does something and you can be pissed off or stressed or whatever for an hour or a day, or you can end up being stressed out for weeks and months and years, can't you? So ideally, if anybody says anything and it gets to you, hopefully it lasts for as little time as possible. So I'm going to put these back. So that's the future, present energy, should I say. So as I said, it's a stronger sense of self. You have a stronger sense of self. Again, the boundaries are there and you're not going to hide anymore. You're not going to probably people please and do that sort of thing. And you're going to be more authentic. Or you're being more authentic because it's present energy. So whoever you're friends with, they should. And if this is not something you're already doing, then it's kind of almost like advising you to do this, to be more authentic, to be your real self. And by that, I mean, like, even if you like to put a mask on, not literal, metaphorical mask of happiness when you're feeling like absolute shit because you don't want to drag your friend group down. I mean, obviously, you don't want to spend all day moaning about something, because why? Just for yourself? Why would you want to do that in general? But if you're feeling like shit, then if people are your true friends, you should be able to say to them, you know what, I really feel like shit, and then take a bit of time to work your way through it. If you need to have your conversations, have your conversations, but you shouldn't have to hide it. You shouldn't have to pretend that you're okay. And if people hold it against you because you do say, you know, I feel like shit, or you're depressed or whatever, then you have to ask the question, is that friendship real? To be honest. I'm not saying that people have to put up with you being horrible or anything like that, but, you know, use your discernment and your intuition, but you shouldn't have to hide. You shouldn't have to hide parts of yourself. So Knight of Cups, future energy. So I said that was something to do with your dreams, whether it is that having a certain type of friendship is your dream, or there are other goals that you have and the friendships that you form now, or are gonna form. Because this is all about you in this present energy, isn't it? It's all about you. There weren't other people here. This was you and your ability to be authentic. So let's see what comes up with that Knight of Cups. So Present is you kind of being you, tweaking anything that needs to be tweaked within you. Knight of Cups, what is that there, please? Yeah, I'm surprised the three of Cups hasn't shown up yet, because that is like the card of support, friendship. I think we got the Three of Pentacles up here, didn't we? So we've got the Wheel of Fortune. So change, again, change. So I guess the change is more, change has happened in the past where you figured out who you are, and that's been progressing. And it looks like change is coming in the future in terms of the friendships and what you're going towards. So you got Five of Cups. So I will get a few more cards out, but I have an idea of that. Oh, I like that. That matches with what I was thinking. So let's get a couple more. That's far too many, but I'm almost feel tempted to take them. Shall I take them? How many are there? 3. Yeah, we'll take them. There's still no other people here. Well, there's 3 people in Judgment, but so first of all, Wheel of Fortune, 5 of Cups. That's a change in your friendships. As I often say, the Three of Cups in this card here feels like the literal Three of Cups card, where what should have been supportive, what should have been friendship, is poured out. It's gone. But obviously, the 2 cups behind you, there are still opportunities for you to connect with people. So it feels like it's a change. Like you probably will experience less disappointment in friendships, or if you do, you'll know how to handle it. You've got Judgment here, so it's like a second chance to if you feel like you haven't got the friendships that you want, it's like a second chance coming up to have the friendships that you want. I don't know whether for someone there might be an opportunity to mend or repair an old friendship with that Judgment card coming up as a second chance, or there'll be a change in a former friendship. That's one possibility. So I've got the Seven of Swords. I'm going to clarify that because I'm not sure if that's a risk or if that's to do with honesty. You've got the Star there, which is about hope, and the Page of Pentacles is learning, isn't it? So it's almost like learning how to have friendships again. And even if you have friendships already, it can be about learning how to be different in friendships. Like if the way this card described, it's like it's an experience that you've never had before. Even if you've had friends before, it's a type of friendship or friendship group that you've never experienced before. So it's like going in as a learner on how to be a part of this particular group or with this particular friend. But let's look at that Seven of Swords, because I'm not 100% certain what that's about. Seven of Swords. Honesty, yep. I think it's just saying, again, it's that authenticity. If you want long-term friendships, I mean, there's no guarantee that you don't know what's going to happen. People can move away, you can no longer connect with people, whatever. But if you are aiming for longer-term friendships, stable, sturdy friendships with a strong foundation, and they're very genuine and authentic, then you have to show up as this King of Swords as well. Again, that Seven of Swords, you can't hide parts of yourself. You have to be very honest. And yes, it's scary because it's a risk, isn't it? It is a risk as well. As I say, the Seven of Swords is a risk because people can reject you for being yourself or for saying certain things. But then, as I say, if you're just being authentic and your intentions are honourable, then, and people are rejecting you based on that, based on what you've said, and they can't accept you authentically, then is it a real friendship? So yeah, future energies, it looks like it's a change in the way your friendships are. Hopefully it should be a time where there's you enjoying the friendships more rather than there being disappointment. It's a second chance, it's a new opportunity. In terms of friendships, there's a bit of a risk there. You're going to have to be authentic if you want it to be long term, and you have to go into it with a bit of a beginner mindset and have hope as well, hope and faith. But yeah, have that beginner mindset. That should help. So I'm going to get some final cards of advice from the Power of Surrender deck, and I'm going to take a break because my brain is frazzled after doing so many readings in a short space of time. So Power of Surrender cards. So final advice for Libra, please. Try again. That was surrender to wonder and awe that wanted to come out. Final advice. It was mentioned about 2 or 3 times in the reading, wasn't it? I will get you another one. Surrender the habit of people pleasing. Speak your needs and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. And it's not about being completely 100% selfish. I think, again, that authenticity thing about being very honest. Don't try to hide parts of yourself. So let's get one more. One more card for Libra, Sun, Moon and Rising, please, if it'll come out. You have. Wow, surrender your fear of change. And that was was that one of the first things I said when that tower came out? Fear of change. The universe is reminding you that you are cared for always, whether you're afraid of a change in your job, your health, or a relationship, or if you fear aging or death. Repeat the affirmation, I have faith that all is well. That's really fascinating that those specific terms that I mentioned literally came out in the cards. But I'll leave your reading there, Libra. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like, share, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel. If you want to book a personal reading, see the info in the description box. But yeah, again, thanks for watching and take care.